My name is Mbabazi. I am the Global Director of the UNDP-hosted Better Than Cash Alliance. Being a woman we work in the financial sector, but my background takes me from technology into technology for financial inclusion and digital and economic transformation. When I think about the role of women, I believe we are the heartbeat of every family and every community, and the same applies in every sector. And so being a woman in this sector is it's a necessity. There is no achieving financial inclusion, there is no achieving any type of development without taking into account the experience, the knowledge, the wealth that women are and bring to everything, just like it is at home, it is in the sector and in the economy.
What moments in your life shaped the woman you are today?
Excellent question. The most pivotal moments are tied to Rwanda's history. I came to Rwanda for the first time in 1994, November of 1994, because my mother was working in Rwanda. And I was a teenager and reflected on all the stories our parents and our grandparents would tell us about Rwanda. And then the reality of being here as a teenager and seeing everything and thinking, I don't think I want this. Obviously, I was too young and impressionable, but I left Rwanda I was going to school. I was born and raised in Uganda, but back and forth now from 1994 to 1998. And when I left in 1998, I vowed that I would not come back to Rwanda because of various reasons, and indeed I was too young. But in 2007, I came back for my cousin's wedding, and after years of moving around with my mother and my auntie, with the baskets that they brought to the US, driving them to different places to sell them, I came back for my cousin's wedding, and I was introduced now to the women that were making these baskets and learning about their story and their transformation in that work of empowering themselves and driving unity and reconciliation in the process. That changed a lot of things for me because it moved something in me that made me want to come and build on the foundations of those that were already doing the work of rebuilding the country. And when I left that holiday season, I immediately went back to the US. I did my GREs and applied to schools to see what areas of study would be relevant to what the continent needs. And I ended up studying public policy, focusing specifically on political and economic development, as well as business and government. And soon after graduation, I came back indeed to join hands with women like my mom, the country, and the women that were weaving these baskets and driving economic transformation in their own communities, to see what I could do to contribute. My path has been in technology, transforming lives, specifically driving financial inclusion. And when I look at also the decision for Rwanda to become a digitally enabled economy, that also shifted something for me because I was able to bring my life my education training in technology and in public policy to now join the government efforts. But perhaps the most recent pivotal one was in COVID, during the COVID pandemic, when it was being decided to reopen from the lockdowns, and making masks became an economic opportunity. And touching cash at that time was not what we wanted, and there were women making the masks at higher links, and it was time to pay the first payment. There was a lot of cash that was being passed out. And so I asked my mom, this is not the time to be doing cash. Why aren't we paying the women into their accounts? And so the decision was made to pay the ladies digitally, but several of them, over 150 of them, needed to ask their husbands for permission to have an account in their name, to receive the money they were earning in an account in their name. And the fact that we had to, call some of the husbands and even threaten that there will be no work if the women are not paid in their own names, in their own accounts, was a reminder of just how much work remains to be done. And so since that moment, I've been working on really promoting people receiving their wages in their accounts, especially women and young people and marginalized communities or underserved groups, such that they can empower themselves, because no one empowers you. You empower yourself. We just set an environment that allows you to empower yourself. And so that moment also has shaped the last 5 years and certainly been a big motivation that got me into this job that I'm currently doing. There is no time that I've really felt like giving up, at least before I had children. But sometime last year, I did feel like giving up, because it became incredibly difficult for me to leave my young children in pursuit of financial inclusion, especially for women. It really nearly broke me, and I was ready to just stop and be home with my kids, and because the first years are really foundational. I was still nursing, and I was just tired of carrying this burden. Every time I left the home, I was crying and just moving around with breast milk, and talking to my kids, and they're crying for mommy. Yeah, it just didn't seem worth it. But the outcomes of that journey, that also have, I have a team, and I needed to fundraise and make sure that we have enough resources to keep the work going. Just knowing that everything I was doing was hopefully for them, for their benefit, because the more our communities and more people are lifted out of poverty, the easier it is for them in the future, and they can solve other problems. So that by far was a big moment for me, and really I was ready to resign from the work and sit in a place where I don't have to leave my kids, and I hope it doesn't happen again. And so when I got the job of being the global director, I was required to move to Brussels, having been back in Rwanda from 2020 when I came from Togo and Ghana before that. And so, you build a foundation for your family and for your children. And so just the thought of now moving my very young children from a stable situation to unknown was tough. And when I got to Brussels for the very first time, I have nothing against Belgium, but sun is something we take for granted. But spending a few days there and being told that I needed to take vitamin D supplements because of the lack of sun, I just thought I can't move my children out of a place where they enjoy sun twice a day. And so the difficult job now of commuting between Brussels and the foundation that we had the privilege of laying in Rwanda was really tough. But we are on the other side of that, and it's really great to now be able to have the opportunity again with the work to come and be closer to the communities that really need the financial services that we're striving for, and working hand in hand with UNDP, the government and others, and really doing this work not just in Africa but across the world, in Asia, in Latin America, and soon in the Caribbean, to really ensure that by 2030, women financial inclusion is no longer a problem that the world faces, but an opportunity that is being invested in a big way.
What are some of the challenges you faced as a woman in this space and your career?
My first days in this tech sector back in the early 2000s, and even after graduate school, coming back to Rwanda and working in Africa, it's a male-dominated space, at least it used to be. And there were many situations where you're in a meeting and you're the only woman. You speak up and men rise up to tell you that you need to know your place as a woman, to challenge the decisions that you're making because you may not have the authority or the position or the title to do it, even if it's the right thing. Just because it came from me became a problem. And that absence of women, that absence of even women mentors in the space made life extremely difficult. But when I consider the journey that Rwanda has taken and the choices that people had to make, I found myself, telling myself to snap out of it and think like a liberator, and begin to mobilize women in the sector as well to promote science, technology, engineering, and math among women, among girls. We did a lot of work going to schools, starting the Miss Geek competition that is now a continental competition just so that we could rally more women to see that this is possible and it can be done. But also the fierce fighter that I became. I had no intention to be a fighter or advocate or revolutionary, but circumstances really got me into this, and fighting with male counterparts was it. I remembered the words of President Kagame back in the day when he visited the US, where he said, when things are not going the way they should, there's that saying, or if you can't beat them, you join them. And he said, no, you don't join them, you fight them. And those words stayed with me and carried me through a lot of times, because honestly, I just could not sit by and let injustice, what I felt was unjust treatment of women and sheer disrespect and undermining the contribution that we bring and can make, brought the fight out of me, and I've been fighting ever since, and hopefully this can end. And I believe that the more women are present, the more women are doing the work, the more women are uplifted to make their own financial decisions, the more the world will get to a better place. And I really look forward to that day, and I hope it comes before 2030 so that I can go on and solve other problems.
How important is financial literacy when it comes to
Financial literacy is the foundation. I mean, just like every literacy, but particularly financial literacy, because of the power of managing your own money, the knowing how to manage your own money. Without the financial education of women knowing what is what's in it for them, what's their right, in a language they understand, and having that pocket, that digital pocket where the monies can come in and they have full control. It can't happen without financial literacy. So financial literacy is the foundation, and we've seen the impact of starting off with literacy when we digitalized food aid that was coming into the refugee communities in Rwanda. We spent a lot of time as Visa and with government introducing financial money management skills, and not just we did financial literacy campaigns across the country, in markets. We went to schools with financial football, and when we introduced the first ever mobile interoperable branchless banking platform that was piloted in Rwanda in the refugee camp, seeing what it did for households, but especially for women, on the back of financial literacy, taught me everything that I know. I mean, at that time I was even thinking maybe I need to go do an MBA, but the work of financially uplifting people, rooted in literacy and education, taught me everything that I needed to know, and prepared me in a very practical way to do what I do today. So there is no empowerment for women without financial foundations, which can only come from financial literacy. And I believe that financial literacy should be part of the education curriculum from the time children are young, because mothers raise children, and those children will become mothers themselves. And mothers listen to their children, and as they learn, they also bring their mothers along in case their mothers didn't have an opportunity to get that education. But it's something that should be part of every development program that is working in communities. We must mandate that those programs include financial literacy foundations, and that they promote the financial inclusion of women, of people living with disabilities, especially young people living with disabilities, because disability is not inability to be productive and to create wealth, and it's fundamental that we lay these foundations now, because then that secures the future in a way that presents equitable opportunity. So let's make financial literacy an equitable right as part of education that we get, and ensure that everyone is equipped with the basic knowledge of knowing the value. Everyone knows the value of money. Everyone knows how to manage their monies, but anything to enrich and prepare them to save and invest and can make a big difference in lifting this continent sustainably out of poverty, and really every family sustainably out of poverty.
When we talk about empowerment, what does it really mean, not just as a word, but
Empowerment is freedom. Empowerment is everything, and empowerment is self-driven and self-achieved. The job of government is to create an equitable space that everyone can empower themselves. And so basically, the right to education, the right to shelter, dignified shelter, the right to electricity, the right to digital tools and services. That, and the reason why I love the digital element is because they're an equalizer, right? There is no difference in my digital financial inclusion experience and that of my staff at home. And that for me is equity, right? So empowerment has to be enabled. It has to be guarded with everything that we have. It has to be the thing that we wake up and go do every day. Go and do, go and enable every day, because it is empowerment that truly lifts people's spirits up, as well as their social and economic opportunities, and is the key to prosperity.
do you think that women's contribution in finance are sometimes underestimated?
Not in Rwanda. Yes, I believe we are a long way from contributions being appreciated. We are a long way from men becoming allies of women's financial inclusion and therefore fighting for it. The value of having women in designing the policies that ensure that women are empowered, the value of having women in the product development rooms to bring that experience and reality is immense. The value of women walking into a financial institution and meeting other women. The value of having women on investment panels to listen to women innovators and therefore get them through to get funding is incredible. The fact that we are not yet there is concerning. And that's why, for me, for the next 4 years, we're already into the 5th year of 2030, for me, ensuring that equitable access and that equitable presence of women in everything that pertains to financial and economic inclusion is by far the best thing that I wake up to do, beside raising my children and being an excellent partner to my husband. I know the value that I've brought. I've seen the impact of the value that I've brought. I've seen the impact of the value that other women have brought. And I am confident that when more of us are fully present and listened to with respect, not out of pity because you're a woman, but the substance of what we say can make a difference. And I'm not alone in this. If you look at Rwanda's financial sector, many women are part of it, but you're yet to see them rise up to, not rise up, you're yet to see them in leadership positions. We're still fighting for gender parity in leadership in the financial sector. We're still fighting for gender parity in the corporate world. If you look at pension funds around the world, how many in leadership are women? Insurance companies, how many are women? So there's a lot of work that we need to do, but I know that without the perspective of half of us, without the experience of half of the world's population, even more in some cases, it's not going to go anywhere. And the task for the next 4 years is that we change that. And I look forward to fiercely being at the front of this fight, as I have over the last 16 years.
What would you tell a woman who wants to join the financial industry, and not just the financial industry, but just maybe start a business and you know where to start from or how to go about it?
I would say impossible is nothing to young women. I was a young woman before. I'm still relatively young. But there is nothing in this sector or any sector that you can't do. Everything that you need to be what you want to be and pursue every dream that you have is within you. And it's for you to boldly tap within you and also utilize the opportunities that are around you to achieve that which you want. And even if those opportunities are not there, go as far as you need to go with respect and dignity, and never selling yourself short, never compromising on who you are and who you're raised to be and who you want to be to get ahead. And really just boldly go, because you have what it takes. There's nothing special about me. I'm a product of utilizing opportunities. I'm a product of all the pain and all the fights, but I hope that you don't have to fight, and you shouldn't have to fight. Just stand strong in who you are or who you can be. Believe in yourself and go and do what you can to make yourself, your family, your community, your country, your continent and the world a better place. Because if I can do it, so can you. When you empower a woman, you empower the heart of families, the heart of communities, the heart of the world, to really, 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 really make lasting impact. And so when you empower a woman, in fact, it shouldn't, like, we must empower women. But when you empower the woman, I have no doubt you will reap the benefits of that empowerment, because when women go all in, we also go all out to bring joy to the family, which is the nucleus of a country and a continent and the world. And I'm excited to see more of us, men and women, equally stepping in to ensure that women are empowered and empowered forever.